Today we look at beauty. Of all psychology's sins, the most mortal is its neglect of beauty. Two men who were old friends were walking down the road one evening when they began to argue with each other. As they went along, they began shouting at one another as each one tried to impose his view upon the other. Suddenly, one of them caught sight of the setting sun. At once, he pointed it out to his friend. Immediately, the two men ceased their arguing. Instead, they stood side by side in silence, gazing in wonder and awe at the beauty of the sunset. After several minutes, when the sun had slipped beneath the horizon, the two friends started on their way again. Only now, having forgotten what they had been arguing about, they walked together cheerfully and at peace with one another. This little story reminds us that beauty has the power to heal. Unfortunately, this healing power is not always recognized in our technological society. This fact is reflected even in the curricula of many of our schools. If educational budgets are cut, what goes first? Not science, not math, not even sports. No, the arts go first. Such thinking implies that the arts are dispensable. Beauty is something we can live without. But is beauty dispensable? Thomas More, in his classic book, Care of the Soul, argues that beauty is absolutely essential for the health of the soul. In fact, he goes so far as to say that if we lack beauty in our lives, we will probably suffer from familiar disturbances such as depression, paranoia, meaninglessness, and addiction. More writes, the soul craves beauty, and in its absence suffers what James Hillman has called beauty neurosis. The psychologist Carl Jung, also a believer in the power of beauty, once suggested to a colleague, why not go out into the forest for a time? Literally, sometimes a tree tells you more than you can read in books. Christianity at its best has always understood and appreciated the power of beauty to nourish the soul. Just look at our ancient cathedrals with their stained glass windows and soaring spires. Our solemn liturgies with their chants and incense. And for us in Papua New Guinea, our churches filled with the art of ordinary everyday people, their drawings depicting their culture, the pictures of animals, trees, and people. Just listen to the strains of Schubert's Ave Maria, or behold Michelangelo's Pietà. Just read the poetry of St. John of the Cross or the prose of St. Teresa of Avila. Beauty says Christianity has the power to bring people together, lift spirits, and inspire courage and sacrifice. Jesus knew this. He was remarkably attentive to the beauty in his everyday life. He appreciated, for example, the beauty in nature. The Gospels show him attuned to the weather patterns and changing seasons of his native place. He knew his trees, noticed flowers, and was even something of a bird watcher. Jesus also observed animals and often used them very effectively in his teachings. Who can forget the devoted mother hen gathering her chicks beneath her wings, that running fox retreating to his den, or that gangly camel trying to squeeze through the narrow gate? Jesus appreciated beauty in other forms too. The son of a carpenter, he probably knew wood very well and had an eye for color, line, and texture. The son of a homemaker, he was well acquainted with the beauty of freshly baked bread, a carefully sewn garment, and good wine. As a devout Jew, he also knew the power of music and poetry. He loved stories so much. He made up some of his own that to this day rival some of the best ever told. For example, the parables of the prodigal son and the good Samaritan. But most of all, Jesus was attentive to the beauty of human love. He experienced love firsthand from his parents. Later, he encountered it in the men and women who were so devoted to him. Throughout his ministry, Jesus marveled at the power of love to do incredibly beautiful things. Love could ingeniously lower a sick friend through the roof of a ceiling, give away one's whole sustenance at the temple treasury, and beg for a cure for a servant. Jesus' experience of human love made it easier for him to believe in the love that God, Abba, had for him. Beauty is a gift of the Spirit that nourishes and heals our souls. This only makes sense, for ultimately, beauty is but another name for God. How do I make time for beauty in my life? Have I ever experienced beauty's healing power? Beauty, ever ancient and ever new, nourish and heal my soul today. And we just